the last piece of what I believe and what makes Dance Your Way to through phonemic awareness so powerful is that it has to be engaging. It has to be engaging. Why are our kids so engaged in video games? Because they get a chance to invest something in them. And they immediately get feedback that they did it right or they did it wrong. Our kids have to have that same investment at school. What I believe is that teaching children is like teaching them to drive a car. You can put them in the seat of the car, and you can say, okay, now, and Becky, I taught both of my kids to drive. It was one of the most joyous things I ever did. I loved it. And I really, truly was. I have to say that, because I had been teaching them since they were 12 years old to drive. Becky and I would drive through the hills of West Virginia, and I would have her sitting next to me and driving, and I would say, well, so what are you going to do now? Tell me what to do before I do it. She said, Mom, you need to start putting your foot on the brake. Oh, I do? Okay. You know, and she walked me through and told me through. Well, I really believe that when you teach, what I do when I teach a kid is you teach them all the steps. Okay, so I told my kid, okay, put the seatbelt on, whatever, do all the stuff, check the rearview mirror, now put your key in, start the engine. Now, if all of you got into your car today and it was time to go and you started your engine and you kept pushing your foot on the gas and it didn't go anywhere, why wouldn't your car go anywhere? If you just start the engine, put the key in, turn the ignition, come on, I want to go, I know my goal, I know where I'm going, I'm going to become a reader, what's wrong? What's missing? You didn't put it in gear. Well, I believe that teaching children in a way that is supported by who they are and what the research says is putting them in gear. It's engaging their minds and their hearts. You will never get children to become passionate readers until you engage their hearts in it. You will never get them to want to hear sounds until you engage their minds in the process by having them practice it with their whole body. Okay? It's really important. So I cannot preach strongly enough. I sound like a Baptist preacher. Strongly enough that that's part of our commitment. I'm a brain research groupie. I love brain research. I love to read about it. I love to study it. Not enough of us as teachers read about it. We don't get in and find out. And if I were going to a mechanic, and the last time he read something about how to fix my car was when they were old 88s and they had V8s, and I'm driving a 4-cylinder, whatever engine, would I use him? No, and I'm singing to the choir here because you are here to get the good stuff. But you know what? You have colleagues next to you that's the way it is. And you know what I used to do for those colleagues? I would go, this is a secret, guys, so don't tell anybody. Had these people that worked next to me and were looking at what I did, and it was kind of like, well, and they weren't trying the new stuff. And see, I don't believe in just trying the new stuff for the sake of new stuff. If you go on my website and you listen to my podcast called Stop the Pendulum, I Want to Get Off, it will show you that you as teachers have to be more proactive and sift. You cannot accept all the crap that's, the stuff, the debris that's coming along today. And I watch teachers year after year. I've been in education for 35 years, and I watch teachers run over to this side and say, woo, the newest, greatest thing, throw it away! And then, woo, the newest, greatest thing, throw it away! We've spent billions of dollars in education not doing a damn thing. And one of the things that and one of the things that I know, folks, is that we have to engage the hearts and minds, and we have to know how to do that. If Henry Ford, when he created the Model T, at the end of that year said, I think I'll start all over and create a brand new, different kind of car, would we have what we have today? No. He took what his research showed was good and added the best to it. If that mechanic came to me and he said, I gave him my car and I said, here's my $35,000 car, which, by the way, I do not have. I drive a 8-year-old used car and I'll never drive anything but. But if I were to give him my little car and say, here, fix my car the way you used to fix cars back in, whatever, he would not know about what things? Computers, injection, fuel injection. He wouldn't know about all the things, catalytic converters, okay? There are all sorts of things he would not know about, and he would not be able to take care of my problem. So then we bring children in, and we have children that, can you all agree with me that children are different than they used to be? Yeah. Okay? Do you know why they're different? Because their lives are filled with all sorts of influences that ours never were. Even if you're 25, these kids are dealing with influences that yours never were. They are so bombarded with sound and vision and fear. Our children are living in a culture of fear. And we as teachers are living in a culture of fear. And when you bring the two together, because we have high-stakes testing, we have, you know, all of the requirements for us as teachers. We have people telling us we're worthless and no good. And if you don't raise those test scores, you're not going to have a job. Okay? And our children have not only the pressures of No Child Left Behind and the high-stakes testing, and if you don't think that's the stress on a child, think again. I talked to first graders that knew they were going to be tested. Okay? They have a climate of fear in our society. And you know what? When 9/11 happened, every one of them thought it was in their backyard. Every single one of them. And every night when their parents are casually watching the news, while we have our non-conversational dinner, and our children are put to the side while we get caught up because we're all so busy. And I understand, I'm a busy person. Our children are seeing people bombed and killed on the TV, and they do not know it's not next door. And we have children that are living intensely in fear every day of their lives. And then we say to them, but we have this perfect little program, this box for you, that it worked, it'll work. And it's not, because we're not teaching children. So I really want to challenge you to read brain research, to understand who your children are. Go on my podcast and listen to the 5 elements of fear, the reflection of fear in the classroom, because my book's going to come out in a few, whenever I get it done, and you'll have a really good guide. Yeah, I'm working on it. I'm not home very much, you know, but you'll have a guide for how to deal with it, because I think it's an imperative that we do that. But what I want you to understand is, when you understand what brain research says, for instance, the phonological awareness path is a path that goes from the hearing to the reading center of the brain. In dyslexic children, that path is disconnected. It's not there. It can be there, but it has to be trained. And the only way to train that is through variable deliberate phonemic awareness training. Okay? Ear training. That's one of the things Fast Forward does. It's one of the things you can do for kids that are just weak, that aren't so abused by their lack, but just don't have it because they haven't been around it. Some of your kids have no phonological awareness because nobody's read to them. Their wells are empty, okay? Because nobody's sung with them. They didn't go to bed to lullabies like my kids did. You know, they didn't have her mama laying there singing to her every night. Good night, ladies, you know? You didn't have those kinds of opportunities. So their wells are empty, so what do you have? That opportunity. Let me share with you a few books that